Many years ago, there was a girl named Tega who loved other people's birthdays more than her own. She believed birthday was a serious business, not just cake and candle business, but emotional investment business. If your birthday was coming, Tega would remember before your mother remembered. She would set reminders and rehearse captions. She would even calculate the time difference if you lived abroad. And at exactly 12 a.m., her message would enter your phone like an official government announcement. Happy birthday, my destiny helper. May this new year bring you elevation beyond imagination. Then a long voice note would follow. If she liked you very much, a cake would follow. And if she loved you deeply, a small gift would appear at your office. Tiger did not play with birthday celebration, but when her own birthday came, the music would change. Her phone would blow up with "May God bless you, long life, more wins, many happy returns." That was all. She wouldn't receive a single cake or gift, just "May God, may God." She would stare at the messages like a student receiving exam results. "May God," she would whisper. So, God is now the planner. Even her husband, Sheyi, would send his own message at 8:47 a.m. "Happy birthday, babe. May God grant your heart's desires." She would read it slowly. "May God grant your heart's desires." She would sigh. God has many children indeed. One year like that, Sheyi noticed her quiet face and asked, "Are you okay?" Tiger nodded. "Yes, I am." "But you don't sound excited. You look like someone who lost a raffle draw." Tiger smiled awkwardly. "I am grateful." What Sheyi didn't know was that grateful was the code for disappointed. On the first year of marriage, she told herself, "It is fine, he is adjusting." The second year, she told herself, "Maybe the surprise will come later." On the third year, she woke up early, cleaned the house extra well, wore a new dress and waited, but nothing happened. By afternoon, she went to the kitchen to cook her own birthday rice. As she stirred the pot, she told herself, "This is maturity." But inside her chest, a small child was sulking. That afternoon, her best friend Zara called. "Happy birthday, Tega." "Thank you," Tega responded. "What are they planning for you?" Zara asked. Tega paused and then said, "They are planning silently." What does that one mean?" Zara asked. "It means I am trusting the process," Tega replied. Zara laughed. "You are trusting what does not exist." Tega ended the call quickly. She did not like that sentence. This year, Tega was turning 32. Now, this was not a small age. 32 felt serious. She wanted noise. She wanted someone to say, "Close your eyes." She wanted a cake that she did not bake herself. She wanted at least one person to hide behind the curtain. 3 weeks before her birthday, she began watching Sheyi carefully. If he stepped outside to answer a call, she would pause her chewing. If he smiled at his phone, she would look up sharply and narrow her eyes. Suspicion entered her like an unpaid rent. One evening, she stood near the bedroom door listening. Sheyi was on the phone. He was saying, yes, Saturday is fine." Her heart jumped. Her birthday was on a Saturday. She quietly ran back to the sitting room and sat properly as if nothing happened. When Sheyi entered, she asked him, "Who was that?" He replied, "Chinedu." Tega nodded. "Okay, Chinedu is planning something on Saturday." Sheyi nodded. "Yes, football." Tega's heart dropped like a phone without screen guard. "Oh." Sheyi frowned. "You wanted something?" "No." Tega shook her head. She smiled like a politician after defeat. Later that night, she lay in bed staring at the ceiling. "I am not dramatic," she whispered to herself. "I am just observant." She rolled over and checked her phone. All the group chats she belonged to were active. Nobody was acting suspicious. Nobody was behaving like a conspirator. 2 weeks to her birthday, she tested a small experiment. She sighed loudly in the kitchen. Sheyi looked up from the sofa. "What happened?" "Nothing," she replied. Sheyi narrowed his eyes. But you just sighed as if electricity bill increased. I was just thinking, Tega replied. About life, she replied. Sheyi nodded slowly and returned to his phone without any further investigation. Tega sat down heavily and muttered, "This man is too calm." That night, she asked him directly, "So, what are we doing for my birthday?" Sheyi looked confused. She added, "It is on the weekend." Sheyi nodded, "Yes, I know." Tega asked, "So?" Sheyi asked back, "So what?" Tega blinked. Sheyi blinked. After some seconds, she smiled and said, "Nothing, I was just asking." Sheyi nodded, "Okay, we will pray." Pray? That word nearly caused an argument. Pray? She repeated. "Yes, now, it is good to pray," Sheyi said. Tega inhaled deeply. "I did not marry a pastor," she muttered under her breath. Sheyi turned. "What did you say?" "Nothing, I said thank you." And so, the countdown continued. 8 days, 7 days, 6 days. Unfortunately, Tega's Instagram feed began showing other people's surprise parties, rose petals on the floor, blindfolded wives, balloon explosion, and violin entrance. She stared at one video for 5 full minutes. The husband was shouting, "Surprise!" while the wife was screaming, crying, and jumping. Tega pressed her lips together and whispered, "That is not too much to ask now." And then, 6 days to her birthday, as she lay on the bed, sulking from disappointment, a sharp strategy dropped in her head. She sat up straight on the bed and muttered, "Yes, if they cannot coordinate, I will coordinate it." Then she paused and lay back down. "No, now, that sounds desperate." She sat up again. "But I cannot suffer in silence again." By morning, her mind had made the decision her pride was still pretending not to support. She decided she would organize her own surprise birthday party, but nobody would know. It would look natural, effortless, and magical. The kind of thing people repost online with the caption, "When you are loved correctly." She bathed early that morning with new enthusiasm, such that Sheyi noticed the unusual energy. You are cheerful today." Tega smiled. "I am always cheerful." Sheyi said and left for work. By 10 a.m., Tega was inside a small phone shop 3 streets away from her house. She wore a face cap. Not because anyone would recognize her, but because she felt like an undercover agent. The phone vendor looked at her lazily. "Yes, madam." "I want a new SIM card," Tega said. "Which network?" "Anyone," Tega replied. The man slid the form across the table and Tega filled it carefully using a different name, Ada Okafor. She paused briefly at the fake name and whispered, "Spreading love and light." Within minutes, the SIM was activated and she stepped outside the shop holding it like a secret weapon. Her heart was beating slightly fast, but she told herself, "This is not a crime, it is creativity." Back at home, she inserted the SIM into her old backup phone, downloaded WhatsApp, and created a new account. For the profile picture, she used the image of a random decent-looking lady from Pinterest. Then, she began chatting people privately. She sent a message to Sheyi first. "Hi Sheyi, my name is Ada. I am planning something small but special for Tega's birthday this Saturday. Please keep it a secret." As she sent the message, her heart began pounding. Within minutes, Sheyi replied, "Hello, Ada from where?" Tega typed confidently, "Church mutual friend." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, Sheyi said, "Oh, okay." She almost smiled. "Oh, okay." That was all. Tega continued, "Please try to come to Silver Crown Hall by 5 p.m. on Saturday. Act normal at home." Sheyi replied, "Okay, noted." Noted? Tega blinked. "Is that how surprise enthusiasm sounds?" she muttered, but she moved on quickly. Next, she messaged her best friend Zara. "Hi Zara, we are planning a surprise party for Tega at Silver Crown Hall by 5 p.m. Please confirm." Zara replied almost immediately, "Wow, who is this?" "It is Ada," Tega replied. Zara replied, "Oh, nice. Is Sheyi involved?" Tega responded, yes. Okay, oh, I will come. That was all. She did not even ask any follow-up questions. Still, Tega assumed Zara would spread the excitement. She messaged her cousin next. Please come by 5 p.m. on Saturday. It's a surprise party. Her cousin replied 3 hours later, nice. Just nice? Tega frowned. What is nice? She waited for more comments, but none came. She then created a WhatsApp group using the new number. She named the group Operation Wow Tea and added them as members. She typed a long message that read, hi everyone, please gather at Silver Crown Hall by 5 p.m. sharp on Saturday. Don't call her that day. We'll shout surprise together. Dress well, please. Kindly confirm attendance. She read the message 3 times and when she was sure it was perfect, she sent it. Almost immediately, 2 blue ticks appeared under her best friend's name. Her cousin read it and one colleague reacted with a heart emoji. Sheyi did not even reply inside the group. He had already muted that group, but Tega did not even know. By afternoon, she went to inspect the hall. Silver Crown Hall was small but decent. The manager looked at her curiously. Who are you booking for? Tega cleared her throat. For a friend. What kind of event? A small birthday party. How many guests? The man asked. She thought for a while and then said, maybe 20 people. The manager wrote it down casually and said, okay, 50% deposit is required. Tega transferred the money immediately. The sound of the debit alert felt painful but hopeful. She ordered the cake next. It was a 3-layers cake, big enough for video and big enough for a perfect surprise. She told the baker to write, you deserve more on the cake. The baker raised an eyebrow. More of what? Just more, Tega replied. She bought balloon next, gold and cream color. Then she bought a new dress, champagne color gown. She even practiced a shocked face in mirror that night with her hand on her chest saying, oh my God. She nodded at her reflection in satisfaction. Meanwhile, in the sitting room, Sheyi was watching football, completely unaware that Ada and Tega were the same human. He turned to her casually. Are we doing anything on Saturday? Tega pretended to think. Saturday? Nothing that I know of. Sheyi nodded. Okay. Tega smiled and inside her head she whispered, you will know. 4 days to her birthday, she checked the group again, but there were no new messages. She typed using Ada profile, please confirm attendance. Well, only Zara replied, confirmed. Her cousin did not reply. The colleague sent thumbs up emoji while Sheyi remained silent. Still, Tega convinced herself, surprises require silence. Everything is under control. 2 days to her birthday, she sent the reminder again from Ada profile. Don't forget 5 p.m. sharp. This time, nobody replied. She stared at the screen for a long moment. Her pride even began whispering, what if? But she quickly silenced it. No negativity, please. Besides, it was too late to stop now. The hall had been paid for. The cake had been baked. The dress had been bought too. And Tega had convinced herself of one dangerous thing. This time, she would not wake up to, may God. This time, there would be noise, even if she had to manufacture it herself. The morning of her birthday arrived normally with no dramatic energy. Sheyi stretched beside her and said, happy birthday, sweetheart. May God grant your heart's desires. There it was again. May God. She smiled anyway, thank you, and then waited for more, but nothing else followed. Sheyi stood up, brushed his teeth, wore his shirt and adjusted his belt. Are you going to the office today? She asked casually. He nodded. Yes, half day. Half day? Well, all hope was not lost. Half day could mean preparation. She nodded. Okay. Sheyi leaned over, kissed her forehead and left the house. Tega lay back on the bed, staring at the ceiling. He's acting normal, she whispered. Well, normal could mean an excellent actor, and normal could still mean nothing at all. She sat up and reached for the second phone, Ada's phone. She typed in the group, please remember, 5 p.m. sharp. Make sure she suspects nothing. But no reply came. Her chest tightened slightly. She checked their individual chats and saw that Zara had not opened WhatsApp since morning. Her cousin last seen was the night before. Sheyi had not even spoken in the group since day one. Still, she reassured herself. Silence is part of surprise. She dressed beautifully for the day and posted one picture on Instagram. 32 looks good already. Within seconds, the comments began. May this year favor you. May God enlarge your territory. May you experience uncommon grace. She stared at the comments. May you, may God, may you. She dropped the phone and sighed. Thank God I was proactive, she muttered. By afternoon, she could not sit still. She cleaned the house again, rearranged the flowers that did not need rearranging, and checked the time repeatedly. By 3:30 p.m., she picked up the champagne dress from the wardrobe and started to get dressed. At 4 p.m., she texted Sheyi, I am stepping out small, and then drove out of the house. Sheyi replied, okay, without asking any questions or being suspicious. When she arrived at Silver Crown Hall, the place looked beautiful. Gold balloons floated near the entrance. The cake sat proudly at the center table with "You deserve more" written on it. The DJ nodded respectfully. Madam, we start by 5, right? Tega nodded. Yes. The photographer adjusted his camera and said, once they shout surprise, just turn slowly. Tega nodded. She walked into the small waiting room beside the hall and closed the door. Her heart began beating faster. By 4:55 p.m., she typed in Ada group again. We are ready. But no reply came. By 5 p.m., there was still silence in the group. She waited for footsteps, for whispers, and for sudden shouting, but nothing came. By 5:07 p.m., she texted Zara privately from Ada's phone. Are you close? The message went through, but Zara was not online. Today of all days. By 5:12 p.m., she called her cousin from Ada's line. It rang and the cousin picked up. Hello? Hi, are you coming? Coming where? To Silver Crown Hall, she said. There was a pause and then, oh, is that today? Tega's chest tightened. Yes, she replied. I thought it was next week. Oh. With that, the call ended. Tega's hands began to feel cold. By 5:18 p.m., she checked the group again. Only 2 people had read the last reminder. Other messages were still sitting there, unopened, muted, and unnoticed. She swallowed hard and tried to remain strong. No, they'll come. However, by 5:30 p.m., the hall still remained beautiful and empty. The DJ was scrolling his phone while the photographer leaned on the wall. Just then, her phone rang. It was Sheyi calling. Where are you? He asked. At the hall. Sheyi frowned. What hall? Tega lowered her voice. Silver Crown Hall. Why? Sheyi asked. Just come, Tega whispered. Sheyi arrived 15 minutes later and entered the decorated hall slowly. He looked at the balloons, looked at the cake, looked at the DJ. Then he looked at Tega standing alone in her champagne dress. His eyes moved slowly. Tega, what is this? Her throat tightened. It's a surprise. For who? Sheyi asked. For me, Tega replied. Sheyi blinked. A long silence stretched between them both. Then something clicked in his head. He pulled out his phone, opened WhatsApp and scrolled. That was when he saw the muted group, Ada and the instructions. His eyes lifted up slowly. You are Ada. Tega nodded weakly. The DJ awkwardly turned off the background music. The room felt too large now. The hall manager cleared his throat politely from the entrance. Madam, should we cut the cake? The question floated in the air like an insult wrapped in respect. Tega blinked slowly. No. The DJ adjusted his cap awkwardly. Should I pack the speakers? Tega nodded. Yes. The photographer didn't even ask. He just quietly removed his lens cover. He had captured exactly zero surprise. Sheyi exhaled slowly. You planned your own surprise? Tears gathered at the corner of Tega's eyes. I just did not want May God again this year. She looked around at the untouched cake, the empty chairs, the silent balloons, and the beautiful hall that no one came to fill. The surprise had worked perfectly because even she had not expected it to fall like this. Sheyi stood beside her with his hands in his pockets, looking at the cake as if it had personally offended him. He read the words slowly. You deserve more. Then he laughed. You wrote this for yourself? Tega smiled bitterly. You think I don't deserve more, right? Sheyi coughed once and looked around the empty hall again, as if the balloons might suddenly explain the situation. Tega, that is not what I said. But that is what you all show, Tega replied. Her voice was calm. Sheyi rubbed the back of his head. You should have told me that you wanted a birthday party. Tega laughed dryly. Told you? Yes, Sheyi nodded. Tega giggled painfully. Told you because after 5 years of marriage, you still don't know I like birthdays. Sheyi opened his mouth, then closed it again. That is not fair, he said. Oh, it is very fair, Tega replied. She walked slowly toward the cake table, and her heel sound echoed loudly in the empty hall, like someone knocking on a closed door. I buy gifts for everybody, she continued. Your mother's birthday, your sister's birthday, your friend Chinedu's surprise dinner. Remember? Sheyi said nothing. I organize cakes. I send money. I call people. I show up for everybody. Tega looked around the hall again. Today, I only wanted one thing. Sheyi sighed. Tega, people are very busy. Unfortunately, that sentence sat in the air like a bad smell. Tega turned slowly and looked at him. Busy? Yes, Sheyi replied. Tega nodded slowly. I see. Sheyi gestured towards the cake. You did all this without telling anyone. How were they supposed to know? Tega stared at him. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she walked closer and said, You are in that WhatsApp group. Sheyi froze. You read the messages, she continued. You saw the instructions. You saw the reminders, but you chose to ignore it. Sheyi looked away. That group was noisy. Tega laughed again, a louder one this time. The DJ quietly pretended to adjust a wire, while the photographer suddenly became very interested in his camera bag. So, my birthday was noisy, Tega asked. No, that is not what I mean, Sheyi defended. But that is what you mean, Tega said. Her voice was rising now. I reminded everybody 3 times. She lifted her phone. 3 good times. She showed him the screen. You saw it. You just didn't care. Sheyi's tone became defensive now. You are overreacting, Tega. That word landed like petrol on fire. Tega stared at him in disbelief. Overreacting? Yes, Sheyi nodded. It's just a birthday. The hall manager quietly took one step backward. Tega shook her head slowly. No, it is not just a birthday. She pointed around the empty hall. This is 5 years. 5 years of showing up for people who cannot even stand up for 2 hours for me. Her voice trembled now, but she refused to cry. I cook for them. I organize their weddings. I buy baby clothes. I bake cakes for them. I contribute to every group donation. But when it's my turn, she gestured to the empty chairs. This This is what I get. Silence filled the hall. Sheyi tried another approach. You cannot measure love like that. Tega stared at him again. Love? Sheyi nodded. Yes. Tega stepped closer. You think this is about cake, right? No, this is about effort. You people don't believe I deserve effort. Sheyi frowned. That is not true. Tega smiled. Then explain this empty hall. Unfortunately, Sheyi had no answer. The DJ slowly unplugged another speaker. The photographer zipped his bag halfway and waited. Tega inhaled slowly. You know what is funny? What? Sheyi asked. I almost cancelled this, she said. Sheyi looked confused. Why? Because I thought maybe I was asking for too much. She paused and then continued. But today helped me. How? Sheyi asked. I finally understand something now. Sheyi folded his arms. What is that? I am not the problem, Tega replied. The words were soft, but they landed heavily. Sheyi shook his head. You are taking this thing too far, Tega. No, Tega replied. I have been taking too little. She walked towards the cake again and ran her finger across the icing. You deserve more. She read it again and again. Yes, I do. Then she turned back to him. And I am finally going to believe it. Sheyi's brows knitted together. What are you saying? I am saying I am tired. Tired of begging people to value me. You never begged, Sheyi argued. Oh, I did, Tega said. Every time I reminded people about this party, I was begging. She wiped her finger on a napkin. You all just did not hear it. Sheyi's voice hardened. So what now? Tega picked up her purse. Now? Yes, Sheyi nodded. Now I stop, Tega said. Stop what? Sheyi asked. I stopped pouring water into baskets, Tega replied. The hall manager quietly approached her. Madam, should we cancel the rest of the booking? Tega nodded. Yes, please. The manager sighed in relief. All right. Sheyi watched her carefully. You are being dramatic, Tega. Tega walked toward the door. No, I am being honest. She stopped near the exit and turned back. You know something funny? What? Sheyi asked. If this was Chinedu's birthday, you wouldn't have gone to the office at all today. Sheyi said nothing. If it was your sister's birthday, you would have bought balloons yourself. But for me, she shrugged. You muted the group. The words hit him harder than shouting. Sheyi suddenly felt uncomfortable. Tega, please, let's go home. Tega shook her head. I am not going home. Where are you going? Sheyi asked. Somewhere quiet, she replied. What do you mean, Tega? It means I am done explaining myself to people who do not even listen. Sheyi's patience expired by now. So, you are leaving because of a birthday cake? Tega smiled calmly. No, I am leaving because I can finally see clearly. Sheyi watched her walk towards the door. Tega, he called. She stopped but did not turn. Yes, this is childish, she said. Tega faced him again. No, what is childish is pretending love exists where effort does not. Her phone vibrated now. Someone in the group finally replied. Sorry dear, I just saw this message now. Another message entered. Happy birthday once again. Tega stared at the screen for 2 seconds. Then she lifted her eyes and looked at Sheyi. You people who keep typing, may God enlarge you. But this time, I am enlarging my life myself. With that, she walked out of the hall. Sheyi remained where he was for a moment after the door closed behind her. Then he slowly turned and looked again at the cake. You deserve more. The words irritated him now. He clicked his tongue and pulled out his phone. He dialed her number. The phone rang once, then the call ended. He dialed again. This time, the screen showed something very simple. Call failed. He frowned. opened WhatsApp and quickly typed, "Tega, come back, we need to talk." But the message refused to send. He tried again. Still, it did not go through. Then he noticed the small gray line under her name. "You can no longer send messages to these contacts." He stared at the screen. "Tega blocked me?" The DJ coughed awkwardly near the speaker. "Sir, should we still pack everything?" Sheyi nodded without looking at him. Yes. The hall manager approached the cake table slowly. "Sir, what should we do with the cake?" Sheyi looked at it again. He suddenly felt uncomfortable. "Just remove it," he said. The manager nodded. As the staff began clearing the decorations, Sheyi scrolled through the WhatsApp group. New messages had finally started appearing. "Happy birthday, dear. Many more prosperous years. May God enlarge your territory. May this new age favor you." Sheyi read the messages slowly. For the first time, they sounded ridiculous. He typed in the group, "Did anyone come to the hall today?" There was silence for some minutes. Then someone replied, "Which hall?" Another message appeared. "Wait, was the party today?" Someone else wrote, "I thought it was next weekend though." Sheyi locked his phone. For the first time that evening, embarrassment hooked his neck. Meanwhile, outside the hall, Tega drove quietly through the evening traffic. Her hands held the steering wheel firmly. She did not cry or scream. She simply drove. Something inside her had already closed. She drove to a small hotel across town and checked in. The receptionist smiled politely. "Good evening, ma." Tega nodded, "Good evening." When she entered the room, she sat on the edge of the bed and placed her phone on the table. Messages began arriving almost immediately from friends, cousins, and family members who had finally remembered her birthday. "Sorry, dear, I just saw the messages. Hope the party went well. Happy birthday once again." She opened one message from Zara. "Babe, I just saw everything now. Sorry, I was busy today." Tega stared at the message numbly. Then she blocked the number. Another message entered. "Happy birthday, dear. May God enlarge you." Block. Another message came in. "Sorry, I couldn't make it." Block. Each block she gave felt like she was removing a stone she had been carrying for years. By midnight, her phone had become quiet, and for the first time, the silence felt peaceful. The next morning, Sheyi drove home early. He expected to see Tega's car in the compound, but it was not there. Inside the house, everything looked normal, but small things were missing. Her suitcase, her laptop, some clothes, and her favorite handbag. Sheyi's chest tightened. He picked up his phone and tried calling her again, but he was still blocked. He called her sister. "Have you heard from Tega?" "No," her sister replied. "What happened?" Sheyi hesitated and said, It is complicated." However, the story traveled quickly through the family, and soon everyone understood. Her friends began sending long apology messages. "Please tell Tega we are sorry. I didn't know it was serious. Let her unblock me. Let us plan another party for her." But the messages never reached her because Tega had already changed cities. 2 weeks later, she was sitting inside a luxury restaurant near a river view in another town. The waitress placed a cup in front of her. "Your drink, ma'am." "Thank you," Tega said. She opened her laptop and began working. Her phone vibrated and a message from an unknown number came in. She opened it and read, "Sheyi here, please talk to me." Another message followed. "Everyone is worried. Please come back home." Tega stared at the screen for a few seconds. Then she placed the phone face down on the table. Back in the old WhatsApp group, messages still appeared occasionally. "Happy belated birthday. Hope you enjoyed your day." But the messages floated inside the group where the most important person was no longer present because Tega had finally done something many people never dared to do. She left. She walked out of a circle that fed on her efforts but never returned it. Now, she was finally leaving the sentence that had been written on her cake. "You deserve more." Thank you for watching the story. Kindly share your thoughts about the story with me in the comment section. What lesson did you learn from the story? Kindly share the story out with your loved ones and give the story a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you've not done so by now. Until I bring another story your way. Bye!